Good afternoon. Welcome to the Thursday afternoon edition of Special Report brought to you by KC Securities. Thank you to Dan and the team over at KC.
Yep.
I'm Chris Hilcorn here with the lovely Colette Linden, and we will be with you for the next half hour, off and on, depending on when Doug Ford and several other ministers come out to talk.
You've called me lovely twice today.
I know.
Ooh,
Yeah.
must be my special day.
Yeah. So with Ford, obviously Christine Elliott would be there. Now, as a side note, both Ford and Elliott tested negative for COVID-19. Doug Ford's nephew tested positive. He's a councillor on Toronto City Council for Etobicoke North.
Yep.
They'll be joined by Marilee Fullerton, who's the Minister of Long-Term Care, and then also Todd Smith, who's the Minister of Children, Community and Social Services. They're supposed to be out at 1. We haven't seen 2-Minute Timmy there yet, so
Nope.
they're at least 2 minutes away.
Well,
So,
we're heavy
what
on
do
the
you got
news
going on?
today. So
Yes,
heavy on the
lots
news
of stuff
today.
going on.
Why?
Finally.
Well, we just before we throw to Danny for the weather, why don't I update you that near London there were 2 tornadoes touching down yesterday. Environment Canada says it's investigating after 2 tornadoes near London, one near Glencoe and one near Belmont. Meteorologists say numerous reports of downed trees and structural damage, including destroyed barns. I guess it was the perfect storm yesterday for the humidity and the weather created the perfect conditions. Yeah, but some people got the snow and they got the hurricane.
Yeah, well,
or the tornadoes.
Sault Ste. Marie hurricane of snow.
What about that perfect storm in the corner? What else do you have for us today for weather?
Yes.
Oh, I really like that little
You
bit
like
there.
that?
I
You're
did like that a
welcome.
lot.
I'm lovely.
Little
You're
segue.
a perfect storm.
Yep.
I love it, love it.
Hi everyone. So if you are outside right now, don't let that fool you. It does say it's 12, but let's admit it is a little bit cooler right now. So currently it's 12 degrees. It feels like 8. And you know
Nice.
what? It's a mix of sun and clouds. Sorry, Chris. I know you don't really like the cold weather. Heading into the evening and kind of into this afternoon, it's going to be about 15 degrees. But like I said, that is going to be dropping. So it's going to be mainly sunny heading into the afternoon, but it feels like 8. Overnight, it's going to drop to 2 degrees with partly cloudy. Chris, if your car says it's too cold, don't blame me. For Friday morning, it's a mix of sun and clouds, and it's going to be 6 degrees. Heading into the afternoon, it's also going to be a mix of sun and clouds, and that's going to go up to 13. Come evening, again, mix of sun and clouds, and that's going to cool off to 7 degrees. Come Saturday morning, it's going to be mainly sunny. We're looking at actually a pretty decent Saturday. It's not going to be too hot. It is going to get up to 18 in the afternoon, and it is going to... Look down. I'm sorry, I'm giggling because...
Not too hot? Or kind of hot? Okay.
Kind of, not too hot. I mean, it kind of works. Warm. Thank you. That's the word I was looking for. Warm.
There's a 1 in front of it. Unless it's 3 digits, it is not
Well, I was
hot.
laughing at you, Colin.
If it's 100 degrees
you
Celsius,
in the corner of my
that's
eye
hot,
trying to
but
look.
18.
I couldn't see with my glasses. I was like, does that say?
Yeah, no, it said what you thought it said.
Sorry,
18.
back to you, Danny.
18.
Stop talking. Let Danny finish.
No, it's okay. I mean, he's probably going to interrupt me saying that it's too cold, Danny. Come on. What happened to the higher temperatures? So don't worry about it. But I do want to say, come Sunday, everyone, it's going to go up to about 25. So Sunday is looking like a nice
Glory
day.
days.
See, exactly.
Would it be beach day on Sunday?
No, come on, it's 25.
Could
Then
be.
you gotta have that wind in. No way, man. There's
Yeah.
no beach day. Actually, you know what? Yes. Beach day on Sunday.
So my car could basically be warning me of possible ice tomorrow morning on the way to work.
Remember
That's great.
that post we did a while ago? 6 a.m. is winter, mid-afternoon it becomes spring,
good
fall, and
point.
summer. So that's
Driving
the
here
trend
around
we're
6,
seeing.
so yeah, that makes sense, yeah.
That's right.
Winter
Do we
every
have our
morning.
2-minute guy there? Does anybody know if the 2-minute guy's there yet? Nope.
Nope.
No, he's not. Okay, Ontario and so the Ontario provincial government and the federal government are helping small businesses go digital. So what does this mean? It means a $57 million program is coming our way to help 23,000 Ontario businesses create and enhance their online presence. But it's going to generate more than 1,400 jobs for students, which is great. This new program was unveiled today by Prabmeet Sakaria. I just love saying his
wow,
name.
look at you.
I do. He's the associate minister. I was doing so well. He's not a miniature. He's a minister of small business. Oh man, get this. Don't shake your head at me.
I'm just saying, you got the hard one, the hard part done easy, and then you messed up minister. How many times do we say minister every single day? Minister of this, minister of that.
Well, he's miniature now.
Yeah, minister.
Listen to this. He was with Minister Mélanie Joly. Listen to her profile. Minister of Economic Development and Official Languages and Minister responsible for the Federal Economic Development Agency for Southern Ontario. Oh,
How in the
that's
world do you
helpful.
fit that on a business card?
I know. I believe is the premier there. I'm getting kind of some chatter in my ear. We're just going to show the split screen there. No, not there yet. Okay, so let's get back to this story. $57 million. Okay, they're going to help businesses become more aware with their digital marketing and just move to a digital platform. Not too sure what this is going to entail. Do you know anything about it yourself? Have you heard anything about it?
No, I just know it's a joint federal provincial program.
Ontario provincial.
They
Ontario, yeah.
Still a little light on the details on it yet, but it seems that they will be using students over the summer to help the smaller businesses create an online presence that they don't have.
Which
now.
is hence the 1,400 student jobs.
Yeah,
right?
So it'll probably be student jobs through the summer. And Doug Ford is coming in just 1 second. Here he is.
We'll be right back.
Well, good afternoon. From the outset of this pandemic, we were all asked to make sacrifices. And this period has been hard on all of us. But it's been especially difficult, it's been especially unbearable for families with loved ones in our long-term care system, retirement homes, and other congregate care settings. And at the outset of this pandemic, we had to make difficult decisions to limit outside visitors to these homes, because keeping COVID out of these settings was our best line of defense. And I know how hard this was on families. Trust me, I know. I know the tremendous toll this has taken on people, not being able to see your loved ones. And for many families, not being able to be by the side of their loved ones in the final or most difficult moments is heartbreaking. It's hard to imagine anything worse. And it was a tremendous sacrifice. And we must never forget what these families had to go through. But looking back now, looking back on the devastation this virus caused in the homes that were hardest hit, I know this difficult decision was necessary. Because of the steps we all took, we've been able to keep the vast majority of homes outbreak free. This decision, as hard as it was the right decision. Together, we have saved countless lives. And I'm so grateful to all of the families who've worked with us. I'm forever grateful to everyone who listened. Your sacrifice will not be forgotten. From the bottom of my heart, I thank you, and I thank all the families. As a province, we have risen to the occasion. We have met the challenge head on, and as a result of everyone working together, as a result of our collective efforts, as a result of our collective sacrifices, today we're able to take an important step forward. Today, we're announcing a cautious restart of visits starting on June the 18th. To long-term care homes, retirement homes, group homes, and other congregate living settings that are not currently in outbreak. We need families to be able to see their loved ones. And today, we're taking the first steps to help reunite families, to help reunite loved ones in the safest way possible. I know this day we have all been desperately waiting for, but we can't take this progress for granted. We can't forget that these settings are still vulnerable to COVID-19 outbreaks. So we must remain vigilant. We must move forward, but we must do it so carefully. And in the coming days and weeks, we will continue to monitor the situation closely. We're working on expanded visiting opportunities as soon as it is safe to do so. And nothing is more important, because we're all in this together. Thank you so much, and God bless the people of Ontario. Now I'll pass it over to Minister Fullerton.
Thank you, Premier. We are seeing the infection numbers stabilize in our long-term care homes, and that is thanks for the tireless efforts of staff, our hospital partners, and the Canadian Armed Forces. Our government's COVID-19 action plan to protect long-term care residents was a driving factor to get to where we are today. Aggressive testing, screening and surveillance, managing outbreaks, and the spread of COVID-19 have resulted in encouraging results in our long-term care homes. In March, we made the difficult decision to restrict visitation at our long-term care homes to essential visitors only. That decision was not made lightly. And I know how much it has affected our loved ones in long-term care, as well as their families. On the advice of the Chief Medical Officer of Health, we have developed a responsible, phased visitation plan that will allow you to visit your loved ones in long-term care and retirement homes that are not in outbreak starting next week. The possibility of spreading COVID-19 into our long-term care homes and retirement homes is still a real threat, so certain conditions must be followed. In consultation with these sectors, we are resuming visitations under the following requirements. For long-term care homes, we are allowing one visitor per resident at a minimum of one visit per week for an outdoor visit only. Retirement homes will have outdoor and indoor visits, with the number of visitors being left to the discretion of the home. To visit, you must have tested negative for COVID-19 in the past 2 weeks. Pass an active screening questionnaire. Clean your hands when you arrive and depart with soap and water or alcohol-based sanitizer. Wear a mask and stay in designated areas, and maintain physical distance. Long-term care homes and retirement homes must not be in outbreak. They must maintain the highest infection prevention and control standards and have a system in place to schedule visits and communicate with families, staff, and residents. Our government will continue to work with the hardworking staff in the long-term care homes, our hospital partners, and the Canadian Armed Forces to keep our most vulnerable safe. Thank you. And now I'll pass it over to Minister Smith.
Thanks, Minister Fullerton. Because of each and every one of your efforts to fight the spread of COVID-19, individuals across Ontario will soon be able to have their visits outdoors with their loved ones in congregate care settings. Loved ones and individuals in these settings have been waiting for this day since early March. So thank you for your efforts. Thank you to the families who have been waiting patiently. And thank you to our frontline workers who have done amazing work. They've been working so hard to keep the individuals that they support safe. We'll be allowing 2 visitors per residence in outdoor areas of homes supporting individuals with developmental disabilities, shelters for survivors of gender-based violence, and children's residential settings. Our priority remains the health and safety of residents, workers, and visitors, and that's why in addition to allowing visitors, we will continue to deliver on our COVID-19 action plan for vulnerable people. This plan laid out measures to stop COVID at the door, contain the spread through infection control, and maintain staffing levels. And we need to continue proceeding cautiously, carefully, and correctly. And that means full adherence to infection prevention and control procedures by both staff and visitors at these settings. Congregate care settings will be responsible for implementing and communicating infection prevention and control protocols to visitors, which include active screening for all visitors, proof of a negative COVID-19 test within the previous 14 days, temperature checks, physical distancing during the visit, mandatory mask wearing, and disinfection of the outdoor area used for the visit. We ask all visitors to please take these guidelines seriously and listen to all the staff on site. They're doing everything they can to protect your loved ones and yourselves. This has been a very difficult time for our province, but it's been especially difficult for those separated from their loved ones, as the Premier mentioned. Today is an important first step in reconnecting these families. Thanks very much.
We'll go to the phone line for questions. Just a reminder, 1 question, 1 follow-up. First question.
Happy to hear this, but I on the visits, but I think a lot of people are
Wow, that was great.
Yeah,
that's-
we're seeing
which
some
is good.
progress there.
Absolutely. I just want to shout out to my advocacy group for family reunification at the Canadian border, and Joyce McComiskey, who is one of our favorites here at Sioux Online and on TV. Congratulations, June 18th. They get to start rolling out to see their family and loved ones. So that's good news, which we reported on last week. So I'm really happy for them. Do you want to go into detail a little bit about the other announcements there,
Yeah.
like the long-term care?
Yeah, so long-term care homes, retirement homes, and group homes that have been basically shut to the public other than the necessary staff, it looks like you're going to be able to go one person once a week to
That's
start, but you will have had to test negative for COVID-19 in the previous 2 weeks.
Okay, well that makes sense.
Which is going to be interesting because we can only do so many tests per day. And so that means you're kind of going to have to, if you haven't been, like right now, the people are going to get tested are people who feel that they have symptoms of COVID-19 and they might have it.
Yeah.
So they're going to be the ones getting tested. Now, if it comes back negative, that's great, and then they can go. But as far as, like, let's say I wanted to go visit my Nana at her retirement home in Barrie, I would have to have been tested in the last 2 weeks just to
Yes.
go visit, which is... I mean, you're going to have to start planning ahead, basically, if you want to do
for
this.
sure.
You're going to have to go to one of
I
the
think-
assessment centers to make sure that you test negative.
Think about all the many people that
Yeah.
want to be that person, and it's outside visits
Yeah.
only too. So
so you won't be actually in the building.
that's smart, and I'm glad that they're.
But
It's
we
good
have
that they're making some movement.
I mean, we have 100,000
I was
residents
going
of
to say that. How
just
many?
long-term care homes. That's not retirement homes or group homes, but just the long-term care homes. We have 100,000 residents. And we did yesterday was the most tests we ever did by far, with 24,341 tests
24,000.
being done yesterday.
How many were in
And-
Hamilton?
Well, actually, I have no idea. It doesn't tell me.
I know you have no idea, but I'm just saying with the Hamiltonians.
But as far as
on
the
hook.
positive cases, over 2/3 of them were in Toronto and Peel alone.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, continued outbreaks in those areas.
Okay.
But the rest of the province is actually looking pretty good. As a matter of fact, might as well just stay on this for a sec. We had
Yeah.
203 cases, new cases, which is, and 12 deaths. That's the lowest case total in a single day since March 28th, which was 7 days into our original
Oh, good.
lockdown. So
That's great.
And so yeah, so that's pretty good. And actually, every workday this week, Monday to Friday, or Monday to Thursday, sorry, we've had less than 300 new cases a day.
That's good.
So that's going in the positive direction. That's also why we're starting to open more stuff up today
Yeah.
as well, and then more on the 18th. And they're saying that the next stage of economic reopening is going to happen, and the numbers are going in the right direction.
Good.
So yep. And hospitals down, ICU is down, and ventilators stayed about the same. But we now have only 538 people in hospital, and just the day before was 580.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good job.
So-
Awesome stuff. Well, I know the TTCs, the Toronto Transit Commission,
Mm-hmm.
have insured everyone who is riding anything TTC related, subway, streetcar, what have you. You are going to have to wear a mask. They are going to hand out masks.
They're going to give out 1 million, I believe.
Right.
Yeah.
So at first it says in the beginning that they will start giving out masks. So that's good news. They also want you to social distance, and we know the rest of that, how that ends. Now that's the TTC specifically. I
Yes.
don't know what the city has the plans in place for bus services here.
For us, nothing.
Nothing.
It's
but-
just not nothing.
Well,
It's-
it
it's
might
with
be, though,
It's
and-
what they're doing right now.
Yeah. So
with
right
10
now,
to 12 on a bus and stuff.
yeah,
But they have nothing at City Council talked about any changes to public transit here.
right. Well, this just
They're
came down
busy
today,
debating.
so
Yeah.
they might
Yeah.
have it in their agenda next week. We have a lot, or next month, we have a lot of
Yeah.
local news, a lot of more news that we want to share with you. We will be back after this commercial break.
Maitland Ford Lincoln, we see our trucks everywhere. We see them on Queen Street, Lake Street, North Street, Bay Street, 2nd line, 3rd line, 4th line, Pine Street, Great Northern People's Road, Wellington, Cora Road, Bruce Street, Carmen's Way, Northern Ave, Trunk Road.
Folks come from all over Algoma District and beyond to buy their truck at Maitland Ford Lincoln. Amazing prices, outstanding service.
King Street, Shannon Road, Goulet Bay, Black Road, Government Road, and even on Pine Shores.
Yep, our trucks are everywhere. Get yours at Maitland Ford Lincoln, built for Northern life on Great Northern Road, just north of the hospital.
Welcome back to the special report PM edition. Thank you, Casey Security, for your sponsorship. I'm with the lovely Christopher Holcorn.
Yes, thank you. I
and myself,
appreciate
Colette.
that.
You like
Yes.
that? You like it? Threw that back at you. Well, I could call you the perfect storm too. But
Yeah,
that's
that'd
Danny's
be
title.
good. Yeah.
What's going on in the land of Facebook today?
Yeah, lots. So
Ooh,
good
happy
afternoon
there.
too, and we got a list going here. I actually literally have to scroll. Erica,
Whoa.
Nikki, Emily, Sue Online. Thank you for also chiming in. Tammy Lynn and Nicole. Good afternoon to all of you.
Hello,
Thank you for following on
everyone.
Facebook.
Welcome.
If you have any Facebook, you can put it into the Facebook chat for those watching on other platforms, Roku, Amazon Fire, all that other good stuff.
Yeah.
Or through our website. If you go to Facebook, we actually get your comments live right when you put them in. So if you have any birthdays or anniversaries or anything, you can let us know through there. We can say it live on air and you can actually interact with us. Or if you have a question for us.
Or if you want to make fun of Chris and would like me to do that for you, I can do that too.
Yeah. Well,
We also have
turn
at
off our
On
internet.
TV channel. I'm just talking over him now. At On TV channel for Instagram. So follow us, okay?
Yes.
Privacy experts concerned about next stage of Ontario's reopening plan.
Mm-hmm.
So not too sure if everyone's aware of this. Everything is well around here in this region, anyways. Let's just talk about us, Algoma.
Yes.
Things are opening. We can get our nails did,
At
our hair
12:01
did.
a.m. tomorrow
yes,
morning.
I'm desperate
So-
need of getting these done. So, but the
I
thing
was
is,
going to say they were getting a little
I'll
long.
be
Getting a little
quiet.
shaggy.
How offside is he? Thank you. As if. Anyway, I'm just giving him a little bit of a hello under the table here with one finger. So, but what's going to happen is
Take notes, CRTC.
we're not regulated. They want to take all your personal information. So when you're going to get these done, and this done, and these did, they're going to take your contact information for in case there's any contact tracing that they need to
Because
get
that
back
is the
to
hard
you.
part of contact tracing is when you go places
Yes.
that you're not actually submitting information. It's one
Right.
thing if you go to your car dealership to get your oil changed and they have your info on the
Yeah.
let you on an appointment. It's another to just walk into a barber shop or hair salon.
Okay, so let's run through this for a second. If I
Go
pay
for
by
it.
credit card, you're going to have my information
No.
somehow. No? Okay. I'm
Well,
going to have to seriously sit there and
because
write
on the-
call
on-
that Lyndon.
Because the
Phone
government doesn't have
number.
access to your credit card number. That's the problem. So let's say your
But they're
last
gonna
name
have
is
it on-
Miller,
Yeah.
right? And then they have your credit card number. That's all they have is your first initial Miller and your credit
You're
card
trying
number.
to tell me the government won't be able to find your information.
Not via your credit card number.
Okay, so anyway,
Without violating your privacy.
you have to put down some personal
Yes.
details, even just to get your nails done.
Yes.
In case someone at the salon comes into contact and ends up positive for COVID-19. So the problem here is privacy. We know that when you receive emails, you unsubscribe. We went through all that. These services are not used to having to go to these depths.
And it brings up a lot of privacy issues with regards to the government being able to basically surveil everything that you do.
Yes, absolutely.
And that is something we should not just lightly hand over, regardless of the pandemic, because usually when there's nothing more, to quote Milton Friedman, there's nothing more permanent than a temporary government program. So the government, whenever they get some sort of information and it's useful to them, they don't really like to give stuff up.
Okay.
So the question becomes, when does this stop? So once you get something like that starting, when do you?
Yeah, when do they say?
What's the finish
oh,
date?
okay, we're not tracking you
Exactly.
anymore. Got it. So Premier's going to know what color I pick for these nails this weekend, maybe, or something like that.
I'm
Okay.
not sure it's that detailed. but,
I'm
you know.
just kidding. Okay, on to another issue, COVID-19 insurance. And I know our producer's loving that I'm turning to this story right now.
Yeah, I know.
Many Canadian film
Insurance
and
is
TV...
always a big hit with the viewers.
Yeah, yeah, right. Many Canadian film and TV productions held up by lack of COVID-19 insurance.
Yes.
There are some of the health and safety protocols Canadian film and TV producers are mulling over. Unfortunately, the key issue right now is insurance. It's a premium. Nobody is offering. The Canadian Media Producers Association says insurance companies that service the film and television industry are excluding from their new production policies any coverage for COVID-19 on a go-forward basis. So that means a large number of Canadian productions that didn't have insurance policies in place before COVID-19, can't take the financial risk, and it's a premium. If anybody is a fan of Heartland, we're running into its 14th season, they will not be coming back until this situation is up to speed, or if they ever resolve it, I don't think they will, to do with the premiums.
But what happens if COVID-19 morphs slightly? Because they are concerned about COVID-19 modifying itself because of the type of virus it is. It can. How do you define what is COVID-19 2 years from now compared to the COVID-19 that exists today?
If anybody has the answer to that,
Yes,
please.
please let the insurance industry know, and us and everybody else. That'd be great.
I'm pretty smart.
Oh, you
but
have a
you're
fan.
directed-
Emma says hi, Colette.
Hi, Emma. How are
and
you?
Erica, thank you. We
Emma.
appreciate you guys saying that we are great.
Is it Auntie Emma? Okay, so what else are we moving on to? Algoma University has said today that their fall classes will not be face-to-face, in person, for all 3 campuses. That includes Timmins, Sault Ste. Marie, and Brampton. So that's unfortunate for any Algoma University. That's the fall term only right now. I don't know what they're going to do for the winter. I know they're talking about some stuff for the summer that Ross Romano just announced yesterday.
Yeah, the birthday party I was at last night, there was a guy there, and he's in his 4th year of environmental sciences.
Oh, okay,
and he has to do a thesis that he needs access to a lab to.
Oh, no.
And he's been able to do research just based on other people's research, but not create his own research. And he finds that obviously very annoying because he's relying on other people's data who did the similar research in the past. So.
No, it's too bad. Okay, July 1st is Canada Day. I'm not too sure how old Canada will be turning this year. But if you're thinking about going down to the boardwalk, think again. It's going to look a little different in the Sioux this year. Fireworks and traditional outdoor celebrations have been canceled for July 1. Residents are asked to decorate your homes, doors, windows, yards, garages, pools, I don't know, anything on your own property instead. And the city's asking you to send your most creative Canada Day inventions or creations to the city's Facebook page, but there's a hashtag. They want you to hashtag Sioux Celebrates Canada Day. So I guess there's, and again...
You know what would be fun?
What?
Put red food dye in your pool and then put like a body floating in it. Like something.
I'm not even addressing that, but I mean, I was kind of on board with the red water. And then what the hell are you... Okay, anyway, there's a Culture Day celebration.
That would go viral.
Again, I'm talking over him. There's an annual celebration called Culture Days, and the city is hoping to have the fireworks displayed then okay? And July 4th, the Americans are having their wonderful fireworks.
So we will get to see that from our boardwalk.
You're not allowed to go to the... Stop talking. Yeah. You're not allowed to go to the boardwalk for any of these activities. You can find alternative locations to view the fireworks from a safe physical distance. And I feel that him and I are not at a safe physical distance.
Yeah, no.
Tell you too that you have to stay in your cars. You can't be wandering around the premise and stuff like that.
Yeah, you know what? That would probably be the best thing to do, Danny, but thank you very much for that. Anyways, do you know 10,000 people come to watch the fireworks in the Sioux, but not this year, the boardwalk. Yeah, so it's awesome. I have definitely seen the July 1st and the July 4th. The American fireworks are amazing, but unfortunately, not this year at the boardwalk. Now, I'm not too sure what the Culture Days annual celebration is because, as you know, we are not from the Sioux. I apologize. But we will talk about that when we know more about it, and hopefully the fireworks will be there.
I'm sure it's been postponed like everything else, so I'm pretty sure we can be accurate on that.
I think we're ending the show shortly, but I just want you to know that the churches, our worship places are now open as of tomorrow, but officially in the Sioux, it's the 20th and the 21st. And the news release that we received says contact your parish first to see what rules they have in place. Thank you very much for watching us today and dealing with Christopher. We want you to watch him at 7 o'clock. Watch my newscast at 5. Thank you to Danny in the corner, and we'll see you tomorrow morning.